Hello everyone, so I'm starting off today's video here in my truck. We're currently sitting in front of Goodwill here in Tucson. Today in this video we're going to be going into several different Goodwills looking for furniture and home decor that I can give a makeover to. And depending on how much you guys like this video, this might be a new little series on my channel. Maybe I'll call it like Thrift Flips or something like that, where we go into thrift stores and find furniture and home decor that I can flip, and then we take it back home, give it a makeover, see what we can transform it into. I did have an early start this morning, and so I stopped at Starbucks on my way into town, got some coffee and a little breakfast sandwich, and I'm ready to get started shopping. Goodwill just opened up, so we're going to head inside, see what kind of treasures we can find. This is really fun to me because you never know what you're going to find, what type of treasures. We could find absolutely nothing today, or we could find a whole bunch of good items that we could give a makeover to. I'm hoping to find a few vases, maybe a few pieces of furniture. So let's just head inside and go ahead and get started. So at the first Goodwill, I only found a few vases, and now I'm at the second Goodwill, which I didn't find too much here either, but they had this really neat antique school desk. This chair would have been a unique piece of furniture to give a makeover to, but I've never done anything with fabric before, and it wasn't really the style of furniture that I was looking for. So at this point, I hadn't found any furniture to give a makeover to, so I was hoping that we would be able to find some items at the next couple Goodwills, which we did. At Goodwill number 3, we're going to find some awesome pieces of furniture, but at this Goodwill I did find a lamp, some Pyrex containers, and then also a vase. Okay, so we have finally found a treasure. I spotted this dresser hidden behind some other pieces of furniture and items. I got really excited. I could tell that this was going to be an awesome piece of furniture to flip. It was solid wood, an antique, just a beautiful piece that would only need minimal work to make it a beautiful dresser. Just needed a little bit of TLC. The drawers were in great shape. It had great legs. I was going to use the same handles that I already had. So stay tuned to see this dresser transform. I also got 2 other pieces of furniture at this Goodwill. This stool for only $4.99. I'm going to try to half stain and half paint this, so stay tuned to see how that turns out. And then I did also get this little table as well, which I'm planning on painting the entire table, so the holes in the top weren't really an issue because I can just fill those, sand it, and then paint it. And here's all the other items that I found at the Goodwill stores today. First off, this 2-pack of Pyrex containers for only $1.99, which is a great deal. I use these all the time for leftovers, so I'm just going to disinfect, clean these, and then I can use them. And then all of these vases and jugs I got to give a makeover to. I've seen a couple of ideas on Pinterest that I want to try out. And this lamp I got for $6.99. I'm going to transform that as well, trying to give it like a concrete look, so stay tuned to see how that turns out. And this glass jar that says country style quality, I just got that to either use for shelf styling or just for the summertime to put lemonade in. I just thought it was really cute. We're going to start off with the lamp makeover. So for this project, you'll need your lamp, oil-based spray paint primer, ready mix concrete patch, spackling, a paintbrush, a sanding block, gloves, a wire brush, and then also a little bit of white, brown, or black paint. The first thing I'm going to do is to take the lamp outside and tape off the socket base and the cord with painter's tape, and then I will spray it with the oil-based spray primer. Before I spray on that primer, I am going to wipe it down with a cloth just to get off any dust or dirt. Putting on this primer first just helps your concrete patch to stick better. While I have the primer out, I'm going ahead and spraying the vase and the jug. I didn't end up doing anything to the glass vases on this day. I just didn't get time for it, so we'll just do that in a future video. So the only pieces of decor that I'm giving a makeover to in this video will be the vase, the jug, and then the lamp. Once that primer was dry, I took plaster of Paris and I poured that into a container, mixed it with some water until it was like a peanut butter consistency, spread that on with my fingers, and you can also keep a container of water nearby if you want to dip your hand in that and then just smooth your piece out a little bit. And this was a lot of fun. I'll definitely be doing this to more pieces in the future. So I'm trying to give these pieces just a pottery look. You see a lot of these in the stores right now, and this is just my style of decor. I love adding organic and just natural looking decor items to my home and decorating with those, but pots, vases, and jugs like that can be very pricey. So this is just a way that you can achieve that look yourself with some items that you already have, or maybe you can find something at the thrift store and just do a fun DIY project to achieve this ceramic look. While that first coat of plaster of Paris is drying, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this lamp. For the lamp, I'm going for a concrete look, so I'm following a few steps here. First off, I'm doing a coat of this concrete patch. Now, preferably you want to use a small putty knife to apply this, but all of our putty knives were at our flip house, so I just had to use this larger drywall knife that we had. So I did one coat of that on the lamp, and it does take several hours to dry. I had to let mine dry overnight, and then the next day I was able to do the finishing touches to that. So once I put on all of the concrete patch, my plaster was dry, so I went in with a second coat of the plaster of Paris on the vase and the jug. Once our second coat of plaster of Paris was dry, we're going to start adding some layers of paint, and you can add any colors of paint that you want to. It's up to you and the look that you're going for. I did about 3 different colors of paint on each piece. You just want your piece to have some texture and some interest to it. You want it to look organic and natural, so it doesn't have to be perfect. The first coat that I did on the vase was just a light coat of that flat brown spray paint. Once that dried, I painted on some tan paint, and then while that was drying, I brushed on just lightly and kind of sporadically a darker tan paint to the jug. While that was drying, I hopped back over to the vase and I took just a little paintbrush and I dipped that in a darker brown paint and just painted it on random spots of the vase and then wiped it with a damp paper towel. I'll show you a little closer detail of how I do this here in a minute because I also do it to the jug as well. And I didn't buy any paint specifically for this project. I'm just using some little sample containers that we had left over from different house projects that we've done over the past 2 years. So just using those up on this project. Okay, so here is how the jug and the vase turned out. These were really fun to make and I love how they turned out. I'll definitely be doing this again in the future. Here's a closer look at the jug, and on the left you can see how it looked before. I found something a little bit similar on Target.com, and the one on Target is $30 and we got ours for only $2.99 at Goodwill. So that's pretty awesome. Hopefully this gave you some inspiration. If you see a decor piece and it's just too pricey, it's more than you want to spend, try visiting a couple thrift stores and see if you can find something that you can give a makeover to and make it look similar to the piece that you saw in a store. Okay, so we're quickly going to finish this lamp. Before we do the furniture makeovers, stay tuned. You don't want to miss those furniture makeovers. They turned out so amazing. So you'll get to see the before and afters of those here in a couple of minutes. So to finish off this lamp, once it was completely dry the next morning, I put on that spackling and then I let it dry for about 10 to 20 minutes before I took a sanding sponge and sanded the entire lamp. Now I did do a little bit too much of the spackling. I wish I would have done a lighter coat of this, but it's fine. The lamp still turned out amazing. I just might do it a little bit different next time. And now you're going to start painting, and again, you can do any paint colors that you want to. I started off with a darker brown paint and I just did that lightly and sporadically across the lamp. Once that dried, I went in with a little bit of a lighter tan color. This was kind of a grayish color. You just want your lamp to have that layered look to it. And then once I was done painting, I took it outside, gave it a quick sanding, and you can also take a wire brush and just rough it up a little bit if you want it just to have a little bit more of a textured look. And then I put a little bit of black paint on the edge of this small paintbrush and I just flicked some little specks of black paint across the lamp, and now it is complete. I love how this lamp turned out, and large concrete ceramic looking lamps like this can range anywhere from $50 to $200 online. So the fact that we only paid $6.99 for this lamp was a really good deal. Let me know what you think down below of these decor pieces, and let me know if you've ever tried any of these DIYs before or if you're going to. So now we're going to get into those furniture makeovers, so stay tuned. Now we're going to get started on giving this dresser a makeover. I did some research about this dresser online. It is an antique. It does have the Dixie stamp in the drawer. So it is from the late 1950s. And online I'm seeing Dixie dressers this size go anywhere from $500 to $1,000, but I'm sure it can just depend. But regardless, we did only pay $30 for this dresser at Goodwill, and it just turns out so amazing. This is probably my favorite furniture flip that I've ever done. So first off, I wiped off the entire piece and all of the drawers. All of the drawers are in great shape. The fronts of these drawers do not need to be repainted or sanded. The stain is really beautiful. The handles are in great shape. So I am just taking all of these drawers out and putting them on the ground. So my plan for this dresser is to leave the drawers as is and then paint the rest of the dresser black. No surprise there. I always paint furniture black, but I just couldn't picture this piece being any other color but black, and it just looks amazing with the stained drawers. We did lay this dresser down on its back so that Jalen could tighten up all of the legs, and it does have a beautiful mid-century looking leg right in the middle of the dresser that Jalen had to put a few nails into there just to get it a little bit more secure. So now I'm going to start priming this piece, and I'm not going to sand it at all like I usually do before I paint, just because I wanted to try doing this primer this time. This primer says that you can just put it right on a furniture piece. You don't have to do any sanding or anything like that, and then you can just paint right on top of this primer, and it worked out awesome. I was very grateful to not have to do any sanding on this dresser. When the primer was dry, I started spraying on the black paint. This paint sprayer is from Ace Hardware, and if you want your furniture to just have a beautiful smooth finish, then you're going to have to use a paint sprayer. You can get a fairly smooth finish with a foam roller, but it's just nothing compared to that perfectly smooth finish that you get with a nice paint sprayer. So once that was painted, while it's drying, I'm going to go ahead and get started on giving this stool a makeover. So my idea was to tape off the stool just a little bit down the legs and then have the top half of the stool be just a light stain color and then the bottom half be painted. So just gave that top part a quick sanding and then I just did the light stain on there. Once that dried, put the tape on the legs and then sprayed the legs the same color as the dresser. It turned out so awesome, just a really cute little stool, and this is probably an antique stool as well from the looks of it. This could be to sit on, obviously, or I think it would make a great plant stand to put in the corner of a room. These two furniture pieces I probably won't be keeping in my home. I'll either be selling them or taking them down to our flip house to use for staging. Going to Goodwill and finding furniture that you can flip is a great way to make a little income on the side. I have flipped quite a few pieces of furniture in the past, and the best two places to find furniture to flip is Goodwill or Facebook Marketplace. That's where I always look. Goodwill is my favorite place to find furniture though, because that's where you can usually find the best deals. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and hopefully this video gave you some inspiration and ideas of how you can take furniture and home decor from the thrift store, give it a makeover, and make some beautiful pieces to add to your home. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in a couple days with a new video. Bye!